All right, guys, I should have added this to the last one, but here we are again. So, the assassination of Archduke Franz Ferdinand has taken place. We have all of our alliances that kicked in. So, Austria Hungary has declared war on Serbia. Serbia has declared war on Austria Hungary. Austria Hungary received a blank check from Germany. Serbia has firmed up their alliance with Russia. All of our alliances has been firmed up. Okay, so Germany ends up declaring war on Russia, then they declare war on France, but now we have a problem. Okay, everyone, all of Europe is in chaos. But remember how I told you I want you to remember World War One as a sandwich. Your alliances are a sandwich. Okay, again, this map isn't right. We have like no one wants a green sandwich, but bear with me. So our central powers are in orange here. Our allied powers are in green. There's a problem with the way that the alliances broke down. The problem with the alliances is that Austria Hungary and Germany are surrounded on both sides. Okay? If Germany is going to be at war with both Russia and France, they have two different fronts. They have an eastern front and a western front to deal with. That's not good. You do not want to be fighting a war on two fronts. Austria-Hungary is a little bit better because Italy's not really doing anything yet, but they have a very long border with Russia. They have a problem, and they need to figure out how are we going to attack a war on two fronts? How are we going to do it? What are we going to do? In hindsight, it's really easy to look back and be like, well, what they did that was silly. Why they do that? Okay, well, let's look at what they did. So, what they did is something called the Schlieffen Plan, and the guy who comes up with it, his last name is Schlieffen. Shocker! Everyone in history names things after themselves. Well, this guy probably wishes he didn't name it after himself. Germany's plan was to very, very quickly defeat France and then hightail it back to the Eastern Front and go after Russia. Okay, so they knew that they couldn't divide. I'm going to go back just for a second. They knew that they couldn't attack both at the same time. So the Schlieffen Plan said, we're first going to attack France. We're first going to attack France, then we're going to go this way. Okay. Now, France had their whole military right here. This blue line, that's where France's stronghold was. They knew that if Germany was going to come attack them, that it would be in this blue area. So Germany and being a good military power at this point, says we're not going to attack them right at their front lines. We're going to go around. So Germany's plan was to go around, invade Belgium, which is actually at this point a neutral country. We're going to go around, they call these the Low Countries. We're going to invade the Low Countries, Belgium, Holland, Luxembourg. We're going to attack Paris. Once you take Paris, you take the whole country. When you take the capital of a country, you have control of the country. So Germany says, we're going to go around, we're going to attack Belgium, we're going to go through Luxembourg, we're going to take Paris, we're going to take it really, really quick, and then we're going to hightail it back, and we're going to fight Russia. Because they were really hoping that Russia hadn't industrialized fast enough to actually get their military ready for war. So the Schlieffen Plan only takes 6 weeks. That's what they said in their mind. It was only going to take 6 weeks. There's a lot of problems with this plan. Highly recommend that you watch this because they're going to talk about every single one of the problems and I'll touch on them. This does an excellent job and we're going to see it in class too. Please watch this. It shows all of the flaws of the Schlieffen Plan, but we're going to go through a lot of them right now. So, number one, problem with the Schlieffen Plan. Germany has to move their troops very quickly. 6 weeks is is a very quick time for this long distance. They have to march from Germany all the way to Paris. So the idea was, well, maybe we take the trains. Okay, well, a couple problems here. You can only go where trains go. Trains run on tracks. They're not like horses where you can just send them wherever. Nope. You can only go where trains go. That's number one. The other problem with trains is once Belgium and France figured out the Germans are traveling by trains, all they had to do was rip up the tracks. Didn't work so well. Okay. The timetables of these trains also got all crazy. It didn't work very well. Trains, big flaw in the Schlieffen Plan. I would say the bigger flaw of the Schlieffen Plan, though, is the fact that when Germany invades Belgium, you can't just walk through another country. Like your neighbor can't legally just cut through your yard to make their shortcut somewhere else faster. You can't. It's trespassing. Okay. When a country with their military cuts through another country, when Germany cut through Belgium, To get to France, that's an act of war. That's an act of war. You can't just cut through another country. So, as soon as Germany cut through Belgium, we have a problem because Belgium's best friend, Great Britain. Great Britain, strongest navy in the world, one of the strongest militaries in the world. As soon as Germany walks through Belgium, they draw Great Britain into the war, and Great Britain is like, no way. You can't, you will not do this. Schlieffen Plan had a lot of flaws, and the Schlieffen Plan ended up being a huge failure, monumental failure. Yes, they were able to get around this French stronghold, and we're going to talk about what this actually looks like later on. Schlieffen Plan, giant fail. Okay. That's all we got.